After working with hundreds of clients on their personal finances, today I'm ranking the 17 most common assets and investment vehicles by risk, return, and real-world utility. These are the exact rankings I'd consider if I were starting from scratch in 2026, and the same ones I've seen clients use to build millions of dollars in net worth. Number one, the stock market. Got you, and you've got a $1,000 bill. Well, if you put $1,000 in the S&P 500 in 2015, that would be worth about $3,800. That comes out to a return of more than 13.4% annually. What happens if we go back to 2005? It will have grown about $7,800. If we put a rate of return on that, that's more than 10.6%. What if we go back 30 years? It would compound to almost $24,000. So 1985, started with 1,000, just let it sit and grow. This is a 40-year runway. It will have grown to a little bit more than $89,000. Right, we can keep doing the same thing here. And it's gonna look very, very consistent. We'll stop at 1955, because that's 70 years. All right, so 75, if I started then, it will have grown to about $340,000. If I started in 1965, it'd be almost $400,000. And in 1955, all the way up until now, about $1.35 million. I don't mind ranking this number one, but because of my preference and also what I'm comfortable doing personally, I rank this number 4 of 17. Asset number 2, cryptocurrency. My personal issue with crypto is that there's so much hype around it. I think that if something is hyped up to the masses for a very long period of time, it usually comes back down to earth at some point. I could be wrong with this, but that's just how I feel. At the same time though, if I speak to someone who truly believes that crypto is going to be worth $1 billion 10 years from now, I would say, hey, if you've done the research and you see it going up, do it. But then at the same time, if I talk to someone and they feel it's going to fall out from under their feet, I might say, I don't know that I would put very much money there. So because of the high risk, lack of regulations, and all of the hype around it, personally, I would rank this 17 out of 17. Asset number 3, real estate syndications. For example, there might be a $50 million property that I can't afford on my own, but an investor group is buying it, and they say, hey, if you invest in our fund to acquire this property, we'll give you a return on your money. So I invest $100,000 and I get a return on my money. I would probably do this before investing in individual real estate. The returns are lower, but I don't have to deal with all of those headaches, which is definitely more valuable to me. So I rank this number 9. Asset number 4, hiring people. The thing that has always given me the most stress whenever I have an employee is if they have a tendency to constantly complain. I've had people in the past who have complained a lot, and a problem, this was self-inflicted, I would keep them on and hope that things would get better. I remember there was a time where we cut our sales team in half. It was a move that everybody knew, hey, you got to do this. It's a smart business move. I felt horrible doing this. I had never done anything like it before. And I remember the day of, I'm in my car that morning crying because of the conversations that I had with people. It was so stressful and emotionally taxing. So what I did is say, okay, Steve, you have to do it, deliver it properly. I wrote out exactly what I wanted to say, practiced saying it aloud, and then met with the people one at a time, and that was it. When I met with them, I made it a point to let them know why we were doing this, and then also gave them a severance. But the good part in that particular case is the business did better after that. And I think if you invest in the right people, it can and will propel your business forward. From a monetary standpoint, I would rank this very high, but due to the emotional tax and stress that it causes for a lot of people, I would rank this number 12 of 17. Asset number 5, whole life insurance for the cash value. Most people have heard about whole life insurance, but they heard that it's a ripoff. And frankly, it can be a ripoff sometimes if it's missold. But when it's set up the right way, specifically for high cash value, it is viewed by many as one of the best places to put money. It grows safely, usually somewhere between 4 to 5% if I set it up right and position it with one of the 4 major mutual companies. That 4 to 5%, that's similar to what we talked about with treasuries earlier. And if I follow IRS rules, I can get to that money tax-free. Because I know this product very well, it's actually my background, I use it personally, and this is what we help clients with every single day, I rank this number 3 of 17. Number 6, gold and precious metals. 50 years ago, you could buy an ounce of gold for about $160. Now, if we fast forward to today, 2025, $4,000. That's a 25x return. People often hold on to it thinking, hey, if everything crashes and burns, I'll always have my gold to fall back on, and it's going to be worth a lot of money. If there is a large economic crisis, and I've got a big bar of gold, or multiple bars of gold, what do I do with it? If I want to spend it, I have to sell it first. Yeah, I might be able to trade it, but that can be hard too. I wouldn't rank it that high, mainly because it's not liquid, and I have to figure out what to do with it. So I'd rank it 15 out of 17. Asset number 7, a Roth IRA. Money you contribute to a Roth IRA is done so with after-tax dollars. However, the growth on that account value is tax-free. And after the age of 59 and a half, you can access all of the money completely tax-free. A Roth is truly one of the few tools that allows you to access your money tax-free in retirement. Because of this tax-free benefit, I rank this number 5. Asset number 8, mutual funds. The big thing to be aware of with mutual funds is that the fees, share classes, and all of the different options available can be really confusing, and some people get frustrated with them because they feel like it's not very transparent. What I would do is make sure that you invest some time into learning about them, or work with an advisor who explains everything to you clearly. I'm not an advisor. I do not sell mutual funds or advise on them at all, but I can see if my clients own them. And I don't see a lot of my clients owning very much in mutual funds. So because of the fees and not seeing a large percentage of my client base invest in mutual funds, I would rank them 16 out of 17. Number 9, owning your own business. I think owning a business is the number one way to build wealth. Almost all of my high net worth clients own their own business, or they have at one time. Investing in your business involves money, but a lot of time, a ton of patience, and also a lot of energy. Years ago, we had a bookkeeper, and it cost $500 a month or something like that. Later, we partnered with a private equity firm. We had to get our books cleaned up. Now, my accountants and lawyers met with me, and they're stressed out about the books, and I'm like, what? We've used this bookkeeper for years. Like, what's the problem? I don't get it, guys. It turned out the books were a royal mess. The reason why is because I had multiple businesses, and everything basically flowed through one P&L, while the private equity company was just investing in 1 or 2 businesses, so it was a mess. Long story short, we cleaned everything up, but it costed $70,000 to clean that up. Owning a business is going to require heavy upfront costs, but it can produce some of the highest returns for you. The reason why is because you have control. You receive the profit. You get the long-term upside, but you have to deal with a lot of pain in order to get this over the long haul. I rank this asset number 2 of 17. Asset number 10, bonds and US treasuries. There was a CEO at a large corporation. He has a very high net worth, and he had about $50 million parked in US treasuries. It was earning around 4.5%. So this is something that I see very, very consistent with people who are high net worth and have a lot of cash on hand, because I know what I'm going to get, and it's also safe. So personally, I am a fan of these. While the returns are modest, it does give me a lot of peace of mind because it goes nowhere but up. So I rank this number 6 of 17. Number 11, equity in someone else's business. This is also referred to as private equity. You, let's call it the private equity partner, want this $1 million business and you want some skin in the game. So you buy 30%. And to keep things super simple here, 30% is $300,000. So typically what happens here is that $300,000, when you purchase it, you are investing that into the company. So now the owner and the company itself can use that working capital to help expand the company. Over the years, as the business grows, it generates profits, and you might participate in those profits, specifically through distributions. For example, if there is a month or quarter where there's a profit of $100,000 because you own 30% of the company, you're entitled to 30% of that $100,000. So imagine if that happens quarter over quarter and the business gets bigger and bigger. You're going to make a consistent return there. And usually where I see private equity make money is down the road. So over 10 years, let's assume you grew that $1 million company, or you helped grow it, to $50 million. And the owner then says, hey, I want to sell. Well, 30% of 50 million is $15 million. So you invested $300K, and then 10 years later, you made $15 million, plus you participated in the profits along the way. So private equity does have a ton of upside, but the drawback is, what if the business doesn't grow? What it really comes down to is the founder of that company that you're investing in. Do you trust that they're going to treat you and your money the same way you would? On the upside, I would rank this high, but because of the risk and amount of work that goes into it, I would rank this number 14 of 17. Number 12, income annuities. So I've got a client I'm working with right now. He is 60 years old, and he's looking at an annuity where he wants to invest $550,000. So we've got him, 60 years old, and his initial deposit or investment is $550,000. He's looking to retire 5 years from now. So in 5 years, he'll be 65. So he puts $550K into an annuity today. 5 years from now, that annuity guarantees about $60,000 per year. If he lives for 10 years, say up until the age of 75, 60,000 times 10 years, $600,000. Okay, sweet. He got his principal back and a little bit more. What if he lives until he's 85? So it'd be $1.2 million. What if he makes it to 95? That's all of a sudden $1.8 million. Regardless of how long we live, that annuity keeps paying us an income stream. And if we die and there's anything left over in the principal balance, that does go to our beneficiaries, provided we set it up that way. The income definitely has less potential than what we would see with a dividend-paying stock, but it is guaranteed, which is nice. This is usually why people like it. They like the guarantees, they like the certainty. I like those, and I also like these because I'm familiar with them and know them inside and out. So I rank this number 7 of 17. Asset number 13, individual real estate. My wife and I, we bought our home for about $380,000. A few years later, we decided to move. It sold for almost $600,000. That's more than a $200,000 gain within a few years. That made me think, hey, real estate is great. Like, why doesn't everybody do this? We also own a commercial property. If there's a problem with any of the buildings on that property, we have to pay to fix it. If there's a problem with a tenant paying rent, we have to deal with it. If the tenant doesn't think that something's fair, we have to deal with it. This would be higher if I just ranked it purely based on returns, but from a risk standpoint, and an emotional standpoint, I rank this number 10 of 17. Asset number 14, your 401k. A 401k can be great because the money I contribute is tax deductible. It also grows tax deferred, which means I don't have to pay any taxes on it while it grows over time. However, when I take money from my 401k, I have to pay taxes on all of it. 401ks have a lot of advantages, and I do like them because of the upfront tax break. And if you get an employer match, I would 100% do that because that alone is a 100% return. But I do want to be aware of the taxes that I'm going to have to pay when I retire. So what I would not do is put all of my retirement here. I rank this number 13 of 17. Asset number 15, high yield savings, CDs, and money market accounts. Personally, I do see a lot of clients I work with a lot of cash in the bank. They don't have money in the bank to earn a high return and grow their net worth. That's not what they're doing because the bank's not going to do that for you. They usually have money in there because it gives them peace of mind, and that's what they know. Once we're used to something or we have a habit as human beings, it's tough for us to make a change. So I would rank this high mainly because I like the peace of mind and also the liquidity. I like being liquid for opportunities. I'd rank it number 11 of 17. Asset number 16, dividend paying stocks. I do have some clients that have invested heavily into dividend paying stocks. The main reason why is because they express that they like the consistent income stream. The thing to be aware of though, is that that income stream is not guaranteed. If the company that I'm investing in gets into trouble, the dividend could potentially be cut. I would rank this asset number 8 if I'm buying good companies. Finally, asset number 17, you. Some of the highest net worth people I know have invested time and money into their learning, communication, improving their emotional intelligence, which means they can read the person in a situation very, very well. I think that all of that is even more important today when we see all of the things going on with AI and such. If you work on yourself and have a strong moral character, which is very, very important, I think that people are always going to want to work with you. So those are my rankings 1 through 17. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, here's another one I think you'll enjoy.